Hello everyone, ARG back with some more Out of the Park Baseball 23. And today in the world of alternate history baseball with the Montreal Expos in 1995, we are going to continue on our path to try to at least make the postseason. So last time out we won 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. We're definitely going to need to win more series until the end of the season for us to squeak in. We are 11 and a half game behind and 9 games behind on second place for the wild card. Everything is inside of our division, so we definitely need to win those games. But yeah, so we still have Kirby Puckett that's rehabbing in AAA right now, so hopefully he will be back soon to help. And yeah, well, that's pretty much it. Now, today we're facing the Cubs. Cubs are 48 and 50, so we are slightly better than them. We just played them, I think it was a 2-game series really not too long ago. So we're going to try and beat them here in Chicago. So we're on the road. Let's take a look at, let's see if they have some injuries. Yeah, they still have Steve Traxel, that's out. We're not going to see him. He's recovering from a torn rotator cuff. He still has 5 weeks to go on that. And for the first game of the series, we are going to be facing off against Bob Ojeda. And we're going to be sending a lefty of our own, Jose Rosado. Rosado has been struggling a little bit more this season, especially considering that last season he was pretty decent for us. Alright, let's check one thing real quick here. Alright, so, well, let's get going. Alrighty, so I won my last game, so I think I'm gonna keep my lineup here. We're gonna see what we can do against the veteran left-hander Bob Ojeda. The Cubs are going to go ahead and send Pedro Valdez batting first. He's the center fielder. Ron Gant in left is batting second. Larry Walker, the right fielder, is batting third. Batting cleanup today is Ryan Sandberg, the second baseman. Jason Kendall, the catcher, is batting fifth. Pedro Castellano, playing first base, is batting sixth. Jose Vizcaino at shortstop batting 7th. Ricky Gutierrez, the third baseman, is going to be batting 8th. And of course, Bobby Ojeda, the pitcher, is going to be batting 9th and dead last. Alright, folks, well, let's get this thing underway. Go Expos and play ball. Now, I don't know that I have... I'm going to need to look into getting the right stadiums and everything. I don't know if I can just use Sylvam's file from last year or something. I'm going to need to look into it. But anyway, so for today we are going to just have the generic stadium that they are giving us. Alright, well, the game is underway. Delano de Shields is the batter. It's a 1-2 count here in Chicago. And the game is officially underway. Alright, that's it to center. And that's got there by Valdez for out number 1. Jeff King is next, 2-2. Grounds it to short. The throw to first is good, that's out number 2. Ruben Rivera is next, full count. And he walks, so a 2-out walk here. Are we going to capitalize on that? Charles Johnson is next, 2 outs, runner on first, 2-2 to him. Grounds it to second, and he's thrown out at first for out number 3. Nothing to show for the Expos despite the walk. Going into the bottom of the first, no score here in Chicago. Pedro Valdez leading off here against Jose Rosado, 2-2. Right, it's it to center. Rivera goes after it all the way near the track, and he catches it for out number 1. That brings up Ron Gant with 1 out, 1-2 to him. Struck out swinging. 2 quick outs. Now Larry Walker is the batter. 3-1. Grounds it to shortstop, and he's gonna eat it. That is an infield single. So a 2-out base hit for the Cubs with Ryan Sandberg coming in next. 0-1. Grounds it to short. The short throw to second base. And that is out number 3. No score for the Cubs either. We are going to the top of the second with a 0-0 score today. John Kruk leading off here against Bob Ojeda. No score, or no count, sorry. That's it to left. Oh, Ron Gant with the diving catch there. That's out number 1. He stole an extra base hit from John Kruk. Kent Urbeck is next. 3-1 to him. And he walks. Alright, so Urbeck gets on base with 1 out. Jody Reed is next. 1-0. Grounds it to short. And that's a double play. That's the end of the inning. Expos are done in inning number 2, bottom of the second incoming. Jason Kendall leading off the bottom of the second for the Cubs. 1-1 to him. Grounds it. That's a base hit to left. Alright, so runner on first for the Cubs. 1 out. Nobody out, sorry, for Pedro Castellano. 2-1. And that's a base hit to center. Falls in front of Rivera. Alright, so there's runners on first and second with nobody out now, and Jose Vizcaino is the next batter. 2-1. Grounds it to second. And that's a double play. Alright, so that's pretty good. So the runner advances to third on the play, but there's 2 outs now for Ricky Gutierrez. 2-2. Flies it to right. John Kruk goes after it. He's there and he catches it for out number 3. Alright, so 2 hits for the Cubs. No damage done. Top of the third incoming. No score here. Jose Rosado leads off against Ojeda. 0-2. Struck out swinging. Luis Polonia is next. 2-1. And he bunted foul. 2-2. Grounds it to second, and he's thrown out at first for out number 2. 2 quick outs. Now Delino the Shields is next. 1-1. That's a base hit to center. Our first base hit of the game. A single after 2 outs by Delino the Shields. That now brings up Jeff King. 2-1. It's it towards center field. That's not very deep. Valdez is there. He catches it for out number 3. So still no score going into the bottom of the third here in Chicago. Bob Ojeda is now the batter. 1-2. Grounds it to second. He's thrown out at first for out number 1. Pedro Valdez is next. 1-2. Grounds it to the pitcher, and that is an infield single. Alright, so he beats the throw. So runner on first, 1 out for Ron Gant. 1-1. Grounds it to short. And we only get the force out at second base. That's a fielder's choice. Gant is safe at first. There's 2 outs. Larry Walker is the next batter. 1-0. Oh, the runner goes, and he's nailed. Caught stealing. That's the end of the inning. Top of the fourth incoming. We still don't have a score here at Wrigley Field. Ruben Rivera leading off the top of the fourth. 0-1. Grounds it to short, and he throws it to first for out number 1. So Bob Ojeda is having himself a game here. Charles Johnson now with 1 out. Full count. And he walks. A 1 out walk here. John Kruk follows. 0-2. That's it to right, but right at Larry Walker for out number 2. So now we need a base hit from Kent Urbeck. 2-0. That's a fly ball to right. Walker barely has to move. That's out number 3. Alright. Bottom of the fourth incoming. The Expos struggling offensively. Larry Walker gets another shot after that Ron Gant got caught stealing to end the previous inning. 1-2 to Walker. That's a base hit to center. Falls in front of Ruben Rivera. Right, so a leadoff single for Larry Walker, former Montreal Expo. That brings up Ryan Sandberg. Runner on first, nobody out. 1-2. Struck out swinging. Jason Kendall, 0-1. Oh, that's a base hit to center. Alright, so runners on first and second now, and there's only one out for Pedro Castellano. Full count. Oh, that's it really well to the fence and center right. That's gonna score at least a run, and that scores 2, so the Cubs are up 2-0 thanks to a 2-run double by Pedro Castellano. Alright, Jose Vizcaino is next. 2-1. That's it to center. Falls in front of Ruben Rivera. That should score another run. And it is 3-0 for the Cubs. Ricky Gutierrez is next. Full count. And he struck out looking. We will take it. Alright, Bob Ojeda now. 2 outs, run on first, no count. And that's a base hit to left, so another base hit by the pitcher. That tends to happen to me a lot. So now there's runners on first and second and 2 outs. Pedro Valdez is the next batter. 0-2. Grounds it to short. We get the runner out at second base. That's the end of the inning, but the Cubs get 3 runs on the board. It is 3-0 Chicago after 4. Top of the 5th incoming. Bob Ojeda is pitching pretty well. Jody Reed here, the batter to lead off the top of the 5th for the Expos. Full count. And he walks. Alright, we'll take the walk. Next batter is Jose Rosado. No count. And he bunts. And that's a sacrifice, so Jody Reed is safe at second base. There's 1 out now, runner in scoring position for Luis Polonia. 0-1. That's a base hit to right center all the way to the fence. That's going to be extra bases and will score a run. So that's a double for Luis Polonia, and we strike back. We reduce the lead to 2 runs with a run here. It is 3-1 for the Cubs now, with Delino De Shields coming in next. 1-2. Grounds it to second. He's thrown out at first for out number 2. Polonia makes it to third base on the play. Alright, so Jeff King is next with 2 outs. 1-0. Grounds it to third. He's thrown out at first for out number 3. The Expos do get a run back. We're 2 back now. It is 3-1 for the Cubs. Ron Gant leading off here, the bottom of the 5th for the Cubs. 2-1 to him. Flies it to right. John Kruk barely moves, and he catches it for out number 1. Larry Walker is next, 2-2. That's it to right, but pretty much right at John Kruk for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down so far. Ryan Sandberg, the next batter, 0-2. Grounds it to short. He's thrown out at first for out number 3. Top of the 6th incoming. The Expos need 2 to tie the game here at Wrigley Field. Ruben Rivera facing off against Ojeda. 1-1. It's it to center. And that's cut by Pedro Valdez for out number 1. Charles Johnson is next, 1-2. Flies it to center. Pedro Valdez catches it for out number 2. John Kruk is next, 1-1. Nope, that's going to be an infield single. So John Kruk hit 2 pretty good balls in the game, and they were both out, and like one on an incredible play by Ron Gant. The other one was just a hard liner at Larry Walker. And then the little dribbler is the one that gets him on base. Baseball is funny like that sometimes. Alright, so runner on first, 2 outs for Kent Urbeck. 1-2. Grounds it to second. That's a good throw. That's out number 3. The Expos fail to score their base runner. Still a 3-1 game for the Cubs. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to the pen now. gonna bring in, yeah, I'm gonna bring in Duris to pitch inning number 6. I'm gonna ask 1 inning out of him. Alright, Jason Kendall, first one to face off against him. Full count. And he walks. Pedro Castellano is next. Runner on first, nobody out. 0-1. Tries to bunt, but it's foul. 2-2. Flies it to center. And that's cut by Rivera for out number 1. Runner on first, 1 out for Jose Vizcaino. 0-1. Grounds it to the pitcher. Oh, and we get the runner out at second base. So that's a fielder's choice. There's still a runner on first, but there's 2 outs now for Ricky Gutierrez. 2-0. That's it to center, and that's a nice diving catch by Ruben Rivera. We also had one of those tucked away in our bag of tricks. Top of the 7th incoming. We are still down 3-1. Jody Reed facing off against Ojeda. 1-0. Grounds it to third, and he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Alright, we're going to use a pinch hitter. Oh, yeah, that's true. They gave me Mark Davis. I don't know how I feel about that. I might as well use him. Alright, Mark Davis comes into it for the pitcher. 1-2. That's it weakly to center. The shortstop goes for it, and it falls in front of him. It is a base hit. So a weak base hit from Mark Davis. Runner on first, 1 out for Luis Polonia. 2-2. And he struck out swinging. That brings up the line with the Shields. With 2 outs, no count. The runner goes, and he's out. That's out number 3. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna go with Katsuma Sawata. Bob Ojeda leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Cubs. 0-2. Struck out swinging. Pedro Valdez is next. No count. Lines it to center, and that's out number 2. So 2 quick outs. Ron Gant is next. Full count to him. Hits it to center. Rivera's there. That's out number 3. Wow, a quick 1-2-3 here. And just like that, we are going into the top of the 8th. Still down 2 runs. The line with the Shields leads off, so we need some runs here. We need wins. 2-2. Oh, that's it really well all the way to the corner and right. That's going to be extra bases for the Shields. Oh, is that a triple or is he out? Oh yeah, triple, lead-off triple for the line of the Shields. Now Jeff King is the batter. Chuck McElroy comes in relief. 2-2. Grounds it to third. The run scores. He's thrown out at first, however, so there's 1 out. It is a 3-2 game. Bases are now empty for Ruben Rivera. 1-1. Grounds it to short. He's gonna eat it. That's an infield single for Ruben Rivera. And now Charles Johnson is the batter. We kind of need a base hit here, buddy. 0-2. Yeah, that's a strikeout. That's not good. Doesn't help me. Right, John Kruk now with a runner on first and 2 outs. 2-2. And he struck out looking. Alright. We get 1 run back, but we're still down 1. It is 3-2 for the Cubs. Bottom of the 8th incoming. Larry Walker is the batter. 1-0. That's it to center. Rivera is there. And he catches it for out number 1. Ryan Sandberg is next. 0-1. And that's going to be a base hit to right. Falls in front of John Kraken right. And that is, yeah, one out base hit for Ryan Sandberg. Jason Kendall is next. No count. Flies it to center. River barely moves. Catches it for out number 2. Pedro Castellano now, 0-1. Oh, that's... okay, it's not far enough. The runner does not advance. Full count. Oh, that's popped foul. Kenterbeck is there. That's out number 3. All right, top of the 9th incoming. We need a run here. We need to tie the game at the very least. Top of the 9th, David Rosario comes in as a reliever in a save situation. We have Kenterbeck, the batter. I think I might pinch it for him. He's not had a great game. Oh, choices are very not great. Alright, let's try Brett Barbary. Brett Barbary comes in as a pinch hitter for Kenterbeck. David Rosario on the mound. Top of the 9th, we're down 1. 0-2 to Barbary. Oh, that's a base hit to left. Alright, so we start that with a base hit. That's good, that's good. Alright, so runner on first, nobody out for Jody Reed. Also not having a great game. No count. Any bunts. Oh, that's a double play. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oof. Alright, so we tried the sacrifice and all that happened is that it turned into a double play. So all of a sudden we have 2 outs. And we're going to bring in a pinch hitter. God, it's going to be Walt Weiss. We're in trouble. Walt Weiss comes in as a pinch hitter. 2 outs, top of the 9th, we're down 1. Full count to Weiss. And he walks, alright. Worked out a walk. Alright, Luis Polonia is next. He's 1 for 3. I'm going to keep him in the game. I really don't have anything better on the bench. 2 outs. 1 and 2. Come on, buddy. Grounds it to short. They go to second with it, and that is the end of the game. We lost the first game of the series, 3-2, in Wrigley Field. Oh, alright, so no news yet. We're going to go ahead and finish today. Oh, I lost Katsumasa Ota. Alright, they gave me Michael Mclean back. Ooh, BJ Suroff in Boston is in the midst of trade rumors. And there are also rumors about Junior Felix in Houston. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and assign a role to Michael Mclean. I'm also gonna go ahead and check, see if there's anything else going on here. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and save. And we're gonna go ahead and play game number 2 of the 3-game series in Chicago. We are going to be facing off against Mike Morgan, the veteran, and we're gonna go with our ace, Hideo Nomo. Simulator comes in for Charles Johnson, and I'm gonna play Curtis Pride in right field for John Kruk. How about that? I think I'm gonna go like that. Now let's take a look at the Cubs. They're going to go with Pedro Valdez in center field. He's going to be batting first. Batting second is going to be Ron Gant in left field. Larry Walker, right fielder, batting third. Ryan Sandberg batting cleanup. He's the second baseman. Al Morris back at first base for this game. He's batting fifth. Jason Kendall, the catcher, batting sixth. Pedro Castellano back to third base. He's batting seventh. And Jose Vizcaino, the shortstop, batting eighth. We have Mike Morgan on the mound batting ninth. And yeah, pretty much the same lineup except that Al Morris is in and Ricky Gutierrez is out. Alright, well, go Expos and play more. Alright, Mike Morgan is gonna pitch here to Delino the Shields. No count here, and the game is underway at Wrigley Field. It is an afternoon game. It is 1:05 Chicago time. Alright, and that's a liner to left, and that's out number one already. Alright, Luis Polonia coming up next. No count to him. Tried to bunt, but he missed. No, 1-1 to him. That's going to be an infield single. Or a broken bat nubber. Alright, so runner on first, one out for Ruben Rivera. 1-2. That's it to left. All the way to the track is Ron Gant. That's out number two. Alright, so Kent Urbeck is next with 2 outs. Runner on first, no count. That's it to left, and Ron Gant robs another one of my batters here. And that's the end of the inning. Another great diving catch by Ron Gant in left field. Alright, Pedro Valdez leading off for the Cubs. Idionomo on the mound. We need a good performance here. We need a win. 0-2. Grounds it to the pitcher. That's an infield single to start the game for the Cubs. Alright, so runner on first, nobody out for Ron Gant. 0-1. That's it to right. That's going to be a base hit. And just like that, the Cubs have runners on first and third and nobody out. Larry Walker is next. 2-1. Alright, it's a to left. And that's a sacrifice fly. Alright, so the Cubs score first on the sac fly by Larry Walker. It is a 1-0 game. Ryan Sandberg is next. No count. Flies it to center. And that's out number two. Runner on first, 2 outs now for Al Morris. 1-2. And that's a bad pitch. Alright, so Gant gets to second base on the play. 2-2. Struck out swinging. Alright, end of the inning. However, the Cubs do score a run. It is 1-0 Chicago, top of the second, and coming here at Wrigley Field. Jeff King leads off that inning. 1-2. Grounds it too short. He's thrown out at first for out number one. Curtis Pride is next. 0-2. Struck out. 2 quick outs. Tim Laker is next. 1-2. And he struck out swinging. Alright, bottom of the second and coming. 1-0 Chicago. Jason Kendall leading off that inning. No count. And that's a base hit to center. Alright, so runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning here for Pedro Castellano. 1-0. Flies it to right. That's cut by Curtis Pride for out number one. Jose Vizcaino is next. 2-1. Flies it to right. Curtis Pride rounds, and that's out number two. So runner on first, 2 outs for Mike Morgan, 1 and 2. Grounds it to the pitcher, and he's thrown at first for out number 3. Top of the third incoming. We're still down 1 here in Wrigley Field. Walt Weiss is going to lead off that inning for us, 2 and 2. Grounds it to second, and he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Next up is Hideo Nomo, 2 and 2. Ooh, that's going to be extra bases all the way to the fence in center right for Hideo Nomo, showing off his prowesses with the bat here. That's a triple. Hideo Nomo with a 1-out triple here in inning number 3. So now we have a runner on third, 1 out, a deep fly ball by Delino de Shields should tie the game, 2 and 2. And it's a weak grounder to first, that's good enough. Run scores, it's a tie game at 1. De Shields is out at first base. 2 outs now for Luis Polonia. Full count. And he walks. Alright, so a 2-out walk for Polonia. Let's make them pay for this. Let's take the lead. Ruben Rivera with a double could do that. 0-1. Flies it to right. Walker barely moves. That's out number 3. At least we tied the game. We are now at a deadlock. 1 run apiece. Bottom of the third incoming, sorry. Pedro Valdez leading off for the Cubs. 1 and 2. Struck out swinging. Alright, 1 out. Ron Gant is next. 1 and 0. That's going to be a base hit to center. Falls in front of Rivera, so 1 out single for Gant. Larry Walker is next. Runner on first, 1 out. Full count. He pops it to second base, and that's cut for out number 2. Alright, Sandberg with 2 outs and a runner on first, 3 and 1. And he walks. Alright, 2 runners on now. Two outs for Al Morris, 1 and 0. Grounds it to first, and he's out. Alright, the Cubs get a couple base runners, but nobody comes across to score. We still have a tie game here. Top of the fourth incoming at Wrigley Field. Kenterbeck leading off against Mike Morgan, 3 and 1. And that's it to left, and that's cut there by Ron Gant for out number 1. Jeff King is next, 2 and 0. It's it softly to center, that's cut by Valdez for out number 2. So we're not hitting the ball with a whole lot of authority here. Curtis Pride is next with 2 outs, 0 and 1. That's it to center. That falls in front of Valdez for a base hit. 2-out single for Curtis Pride. The inning is still alive for the Expos, who are bringing in Tim Laker. No count. Flies it to right. Larry Walker is there. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. Bottom of the 4th incoming. Still 1-1 the score. Right, Jason Kendall leading off the bottom of the 4th, 2 and 2. Flies it to center. Ruben Rivera is there, that's out number 1. Pedro Castellano is next, 0 and 2. Struck out swinging. Jose Vizcaino with 2 outs, 1 and 2. Oh, that's going to be extra bases all the way to the corner and left. And that is a double, 2-out double for Jose Vizcaino. Mike Morgan is next, no count. And that's a bad pitch again by Hideo Nomo. So runner on third, 2 outs now, 1 and 1 to Morgan. Flies it to center, Rivera's there. And that's out number 3. Top of the 5th incoming. Are we gonna have a big inning here? Well, if we do, it's gonna start with Walt Weiss. 0 and 2. Hits it weakly to center. Valdez barely moves. That's out number 1. Hideo Nomo is next. 1 and 1. Grounds it to the pitcher. That's out number 2. Alright, so 2 quick outs, and Delino the Shields is the next batter. 3-1. That's it to left, but Ron Gant is there to catch it. That is out number 3. Bottom of the 5th incoming, still 1-1. With Pedro Valdez leading off. 1-2. Grounds it to second. He's thrown at first for out number 1. Alright, Ron Gant is the next batter. 2-2. Struck out swinging. Larry Walker is next. Full count to Walker. And that's going to be a base hit to center. Falls in front of Rivera. Nobody could get to it. So a 2-out single for Larry Walker. That's going to bring up Ryan Sandberg with a runner on and 2 outs. 2-1. Grounds it to third. The throw to second base, and that's out number 3. Top of the 6th incoming with Luis Polonia, the batter. 1-2. Grounds it to first. Oh, that's going to be an error on Al Morris. Right, so we have a runner on first and nobody out for Ruben Rivera. Full count. Struck out swinging. That's a wasted out. Kent Urbeck is next. 1-1. Oh, the catcher drops the ball. 2-2 now. Urbeck with a bad swing. That's an easy fly ball to right for Walker. Just like that, there's 2 outs. And we still have a runner on first. Jeff King now. 1-0. Flies it to right. Walker barely moves. He catches it, and that is out number 3. Bottom of the 6th incoming. Al Morris is the batter. We still are deadlocked at 1-1. Right, flies it to left. Polonia's there. That's out number 1. Jason Kendall is next. 2-2. Grounds it to short. Walt Weiss catches it, but that is an infield single. He's just gonna eat it. So runner on first, 1 out for Pedro Castellano. No count. Grounds it to the pitcher. And that's a double play. There you go. Top of the 7th incoming. So again, we're having problems with our offense here. We didn't get many hits in the previous game, and we're starting the 7th with only 3 hits to our name. Mike Morgan also having a good game. Curtis Pride leads off the top of the 7th here. 1-2. Hits it to center. Oh, it hits the top of the fence here, and that's going to be a double for Curtis Pride. So leadoff double for Curtis Pride. Hopefully we manage to score him. No, so a 2-strike double like that is pretty nice. Tim Laker now, runner in scoring position, nobody out. 1-2. Grounds it to third. It was hit solidly, but it was cut, and that's out number 1. Walt Weiss is next. 1-2. That's it to left, and that's cut there by Gant. So there's 2 outs, and we still have a runner in scoring position. Hideo Nomo is the batter now. I'm not sure that he's going to get another base hit here. Full count, and he struck out swinging. I didn't want to pull Hideo Nomo just yet. Right, Jose Vizcaino is the next batter. Full count. Grounds it to second. The Shields with the throw. That's out number 1. Mike Morgan is next. Full count. Struck out swinging. Pedro Valdez is next. No count. And that is it down the line in left. That's going to be extra bases. And that is a double for Valdez. So 2-out double for the Cubs. Ron Gant is now the batter. 1-2. And he struck out looking. Alright. I think that was Nomo's last inning. He did give up 8 hits. Only 1 run, but Lots of base runners, so we're gonna cut his evening out after this. Alright, so then I know the shield's leading off the top of the 8. No count. It's it to center. And that's cut easily by Valdez for out number 1. Luis Polonia is next, 0-2. And he struck out looking, just like that, 2 up, 2 down. Ruben Rivera is next, 0-1. That's an extra base hit down the line and left all the way into the corner. That's going to be a double for Ruben Rivera, 2 out double. So now we need a timely base hit from Canterbeck. No count. And that's a pop fly to third. Castellano literally took 1 step to catch this. Bottom of the 8 and coming, we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to go with our lefty if he's still there. Oh, he's tired, so yeah, we'll go with Michael Mclean. Right, Michael Mclean comes in, facing off against Larry Walker to start the bottom of the 8, 1-2. Struck out swinging, he overpowered Walker, that's pretty good. Ryan Sandberg is next with 1 out, no count. Grounds it to short. He's thrown out at first for out number 2, sorry. Now Al Morris is next, 0-1. Grounds it to short. And he's thrown out at first for out number 3. Top of the 9th and coming. It is still a 1-1 game. Our offense has been completely stifled. Top of the 9th. Jeff King leading off. No count. Grounds it to third. He's thrown out at first for out number 1. Curtis Pride is next. Full count. And he walks. All right, we'll take it. 1 out walk. Tim Laker is not a batter. Buddy Black comes in on the mound. He's a lefty to face off against Tim Laker. Runner on first. 1 out. No count. Grounds it to third, and that is a double play. And that is the end of the inning. Bottom of the 9th and coming. I think I'm going to keep Michael Mclean on the mound. Jason Kendall is the next batter. Full count. Pops it. That's cut by Wise for out number 1. Pedro Castellano is next, 2-2 to him. Struck out looking. Jose Vizcaino is next, 2-0. And that's a base hit. Falls in front of Rivera for out number for a base hit, 2 out base hit. Now Angel Echevarria comes in as a pinch hitter. Runner on first, 2 outs, 2-0. And that's a base hit to right, falls in front of Pride. And now there's runners on first and third with 2 outs, and Pedro Valdez is the next batter. I think I'm going to bring my lefty even if he's tired for just 1 batter. Because this is 1995 and we can do that. How about that? Alright, so Scott Bales comes in, facing off against Pedro Valdez. Runners on first and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th, it is 1-1. A base hit wins the game. No count. Grounds it to second. And he's thrown out at first for out number 3. We have extra baseball here going into the top of the 10th. Still deadlocked. And now Juan Guzman comes in to pitch for the Cubs. He's going to be facing off against Walt Wise. 3-1. Alright, Walt Wise walks. So now we have a runner on first and nobody out. Of course, I am going to bring in a pinch hitter, and I think that I'm gonna use John Kruk. Definitely my best batter here. Runner on first, nobody out. John Kruk comes in as a pinch hitter. No count. Oh, And they got the runner out at first on a pickoff attempt. No count for John Kruk still, and that's it weekly. And that's cut by Valdez for out number 2. So all of a sudden we have nothing going on. Then I know the shield with 2 outs, 3 and 1. And he walks. All right, we have some wheels on the base paths, but there's 2 outs. Luis Polonia comes in. 1 and 0. Oh, that's a bad pitch. The Shields gets the free base. We'll take it. Alright, Luis Polonia still 2 and 0. Grounds it to third. And that's an infield base hit, and we will take it. Alright, so runners on first and third. There's 2 outs for Ruben Rivera. 1 and 0. Oh, that's a base hit, I think. Yes, it is. Oh, ho, ho. Expos are getting some runs here. All right, Expos score in the top of the 10th. It is now 2-1. 2 outs, runners on first and third. Ken Turbeck is the next batter. 1 and 1. That's another base hit to right. Scores another run. All right, so we have a 3-1 lead now in the top of the 10th. Runners on first and third, 2 outs for Jeff King, 2 and 0. Grounds it to second, and they take it to the base, and that is out number 3. Expos do get 2 runs, and it is a 3-1 lead. So we're going to bring in Stan Belinda to close out the game. Hopefully he manages to do just that. Alright, so Stan Belinda facing off against Ron Gant to start the bottom of the 10th. Full count. Struck out looking. Alright, that's good, that's good. Larry Walker with 1 out, 0-1. Flies it towards right center. Rivera's there, that's out number 2. So 2 outs for the Cubs. Ryan Sandberg is next. 1-0. Flies it to right. Curtis Pride is there. And he catches it for out number 3. The Expos win game number 2 of the series. A 3-1 win in 10 innings. And that's a better result than when we've got the game before. Alright, we're going to go ahead and finish today. Alright, player transaction news. Oh, Carl Pavano comes up. Mclean and Olin. Okay, alright, so Carl Pavano back with the big club. And then we got Mclean back and Pavano back down. I still don't know why they do that. Okay. Oh, we made a trade with Kansas City. Who did we get? Okay, that's funny. Alright, so it's funny. Alright. So Kansas City traded Ken Hill to the Expos. Now that's funny because Ken Hill, of course, played for the Expos in real life for a few seasons. So Ken Hill comes in and Carl Pavano goes to Kansas City. Ken Hill should help our rotation. We haven't been necessarily the most consistent there. Hopefully he helps with that. Looks like he's been used in relief mostly. Oh, he doesn't have a whole lot of stamina, does he? I might still use him as a starter. Carl Pavano goes the other way. Alright. Then there's been a trade between Oakland and the Cubs. Scott Terry goes to the Cubs for Dwight Lewis. And then the Rockies and Tigers made a trade. Ooh, Marquise Grissom now plays in Detroit. And in exchange, Colorado get Michael Cesare, Chad O.J., Jesus Azuaje, and Danny Bautista. So Chad O.J. and Danny Bautista should become major leaguers. Well, I don't know about O.J. Doesn't have great potential in the game. I know he did play in the majors a little bit. Danny Bautista as well. Alright. Alright, let's see here. What do we have? Alright, so we're... Alright, so it's probably gonna take a day before we get Ken Hill on the roster, so we're just gonna keep it like that for now. Alright, do I have anything that changed here? No, there's not. What about if I look here? Alright, we're going to go ahead and play game number 3. So there's been a little trade for the Expos. We acquired Ken Hill. And for game 3, last game of the 3-game series against the Cubs, we're going to be facing off against Jack Armstrong. And we're going to go with Andy Hawkins on our own. Hawkins pitched a pretty good first game for us. So hopefully he can continue like that. I'm going to keep this lineup. I won the last game. That's usually what I try to do unless somebody's tired. And the Cubs are going to go with Pedro Valdez in center field to lead off. Angel Echevarria is going to be playing left field. He's batting second. Larry Walker in right field is batting third. Ryan Sandberg, the second baseman, is batting fourth. Al Morris, the first baseman, batting fifth. Pedro Castellano, third base, batting sixth. Eric Wedge, the catcher, batting seventh. And Jose Vizcaino, the shortstop, batting eighth. And of course, Jack Armstrong, the pitcher, is going to be batting ninth. Alright, go Expos and play ball! Delino the Shield leads off here against Jack Armstrong. Oh, Jack Armstrong is having a really good season. He's 11-5 and a 2.09 ERA. That's very good. So this game is not a gimme at all. Alright, 2-1 to the Shields, and the game is underway here. Another afternoon game here at Wrigley Field. Alright, and the Shields grounds it to short, and that is out number 1. Luis Polonia follows, 2-2. Struck out swinging. Alright, so 2 up, 2 down for John Crott now with 2 outs, 0-1. Lines it to left, and that's cut by Echevarria. That is out number 3, just like that. Bottom of the first incoming. No score in Chicago. Pedro Valdez leading off against Andy Hawkins, 1-2. That's a dribbler to the pitcher, and that is an infield single. Run on first, nobody out for Angel Echevarria. 1-0. Runner goes. There's no throw. That's a stolen base. His 9th of the season. Runner in scoring position and nobody out. 1-2 the score, the count, and he strikes out swinging. Alright, runner in scoring position, 1 out for Larry Walker. No count. Hits it to left, and is that cut? Yes, it is cut in in foul territory. Near the fence for out number 2. So Ryan Sandberg now 2 outs. Runner on second base, 1-2. Hawkins with a pitch, struck out looking, and Andy Hawkins gets out of this. Too bad FJ's not around to watch Andy Hawkins play. Top of the second, Canterbeck facing off against Jack Armstrong, 3-0. And he walks on 4 pitches. Runner on first, nobody out for Ruben Rivera, 0-1. Oh, that's it pretty well. And pretty out of here. That is a 2-run blast to center right field, so kind of opposite field a little. 406 feet. It is a 2-0 lead for the Expos. Charles Johnson is next. Nobody out. 0-2 to Johnson. Ooh, I think that might be out of here too. Solo blast for Charles Johnson. 3-0 for the Expos. The Expos go back to back. Are we gonna go back to back to back? Oof, that would require a home run by Jeff King. He hasn't had many of those this season. 2-0. Grounds it to second. Oh, is that an error or a base hit? Yeah, that's a base hit. All right. So a single. Now Walt Weiss is next. No count. And that's a base hit to right. All right. So King rounds second, goes for third base, and he is safe. So now we have runners on first and third. Nobody out still for Andy Hawkins. 0-1. Oh, he tried to bunt, but that was foul. Bunts at 0-2. And the runner advances to second base. Runner holds at third. So now we have 2 runners in scoring position. 1 out for the line with the Shields with a nice base hit. That could be a 5-0 game. Full count. And the Shields walks. Bases are juiced. Only 1 out. Luis Polonia is next. 0-2. Grounds it to the pitcher. And they get the runner out at home. Polonia is safe at first. We avoid the double play, but now there's 2 outs. We need a base hit from John Kruk. 0-2. And we get a base hit. Opposite field to left field. And 2 runs scored. It is now 5-0 for the Expos. Canterbeck is next. 2 on, 2 outs. 1-1. Oh, the Cubs brought in a reliever. I missed it. It is 5-0, and it's Joe Roa that is now pitching for the Cubs. I missed the pitching change cue. Right, bottom of the second, the Expos put a crooked number on the board. We are up 5-0. Al Morris leads off the bottom of the second against Andy Hawkins. No count to Morris. And that's going to be a base hit to center. Falls in front of Rivera for a base hit. Run on first, nobody out for Pedro Castellano. No count. And that's a stolen base. All right, so runner in scoring position and nobody out. 2-2 to Castellano. And that's it to right, and that's it pretty well all the way to the fence and right. So that scores a run. Castellano goes all the way to third base. That's a run scoring triple for the Cubs. It is a 5-1 game. That now brings up Eric Wedge. Full count. Ground. No, that's a base hit to left. That scores a run. So now runner on first, nobody out. 5-2 the score. Jose Vizcaino is the batter. No count. It's it to left. That's cut by Polonia for out number 1. Joe Roa is now the batter. Stays in the game, of course. He only pitched 3 pitches. No count. Joe Roa bunts. That's a sacrifice. Runner gets to second base. So runner in scoring position, 2 outs for Pedro Valdez, 2-1. And flies it to right for out number 3. Right, top of the third. We have a 3-run lead. It is 5-2 for the Expos. Ruben Rivera leading off against Joe Roa. 2-2. Flies it to center. Valdez goes after it, and he catches it for out number 1. Charles Johnson is next, 1 and 2. Struck out swinging. Jeff King now, 3 and 1. Oh, I think that's out now. It is. He didn't get it for the back-to-back-to-back, but Jeff King with the solo blast. It is a 6-2 lead for the Expos. 424 feet. Walt Weiss is next. No count. That's it to left. Echevarria with the sliding, the diving catch, and that is out number 3. 6-2 lead still. Angel Echevarria, who just made an incredible catch, leads off the bottom of the 3rd. No count. And that's a base hit to left. And so Hawkins giving up a lot of base runners and stuff. I don't know how long he's gonna last. Runner on first. Nobody out bottom of the 3rd. Larry Walker is the batter now. Full count. And he walks. Lots of base runners. Ryan Sandberg now. 2 on, nobody out. Full count. That's it to center. And that's cut by Rivera for out number 1. Al Morris is next. 0 and 2. Grounds it to second. And that's a double play, just like that. The inning is over. Top of the 4th incoming, we have a 4-run lead here in Wrigley Field. Andy Hawkins leading off against Joe Roa, 0 and 1. Grounds it to the pitcher, and he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Delino De Shields is next, 1 and 1. Grounds it to second, and he's thrown out at first for out number 2. Luis Polonia, 0 and 2. And that's going to be a base hit to left. Luis Polonia with a single here after 2 outs. And now John Kruk will be the batter. 3 and 0. And he walks on 4 pitches. So 2 on, 2 outs for Kent Turbick. 1 and 2. Grounds it down the line, first base. That's a base hit. I believe that's going to score a run. And it does. It is now a 7-2 game for the Expos. 2 runners in scoring position. 2 outs for Ruben Rivera. No count. That's a base hit to right. Falls in front of Larry Walker. Score 1 run, but Larry Walker with a good throw gets the trail runner. So that's the end of the inning. We did add 1 more run. It is now 8-2. Bottom of the 4th incoming. Pedro Castellano is the batter. 0 and 1. Flies it. Popped foul, I should say. Cut by Urbeck for out number 1. Eric Wedge is next. Full count to him. Struck out swinging. Jose Vizcaino is next, 0 and 1. That's going to be a base hit to left, so a 2-out single for Vizcaino. And now Miguel Flores comes in as a pinch hitter, 0 and 1. Flies it to center. Rivera's there, that's out number 3. Top of the 5th incoming, the Expos with a nice 6-run lead, an 8-2 game here. Now Mike Sutters comes in as a reliever for the Cubs. He's a lefty. Charles Johnson is now the batter, 2 and 0. Alright, flies it to right. That's cut by Walker for out number 1. Jeff King is next, 1 and 1. And that's it all the way to the corner in right field. That's going to be an extra base hit. That's a double for Jeff King. So 1-out double. Walt Weiss is the next batter. 1 and 0. And that's it to left. And that falls in for a base hit. That's going to score another run. So a single by Walt Weiss makes it a 9-2 game for the Expos. 1 out still. Andy Hawkins is gonna take a swing, or bunt rather. That's a good sacrifice. So there's 2 outs. There's a runner in scoring position. A base hit from Delino the Shields should score a run. 3-0. And he walks on 4 pitches. We will also take that. 2 on 2 outs for Luis Polonia. 0-2. Oh, dribbler in front of the plate. And he's thrown out at first for out number 3. The Expos add 1 more run to their lead. It is a 9-2 game here at Wrigley Field. Pedro Valdez leading off the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 from Hawkins. That's going to be extra bases. Hit all the way to right center, all the way to the fence. So a leadoff double for the Cubs. And Angel Echevarria is now the batter. 1-2. And that's going to be extra bases all the way to the fence and left. That will score a run. It is a 9-3 game thanks to a double by Echevarria. Runner in scoring position. Nobody out for Larry Walker. 2-2. That's it to right. That's a base hit. Falls in front of John Kruk. Alright, so runners on first and third now. Nobody out. Ryan Sandberg is the batter. No count. Alright, flies it to center. That is cut there by Rivera. The throw home. And it is late. It is a sac fly. It is now 9-4. Run on first, 1 out for Al Morris. No count. Grounds it to first. And we only get the out at second base. Fielder's choice, 2 outs, run on first for Pedro Castellano. 1-0. Grounds it to short. And he's thrown out. We got the out at second base. And that's the end of the inning. Cubs add 2 runs here. We are up 9-4. Top of the 6th incoming. Sodders is still on the mound. John Kruk is the batter. 1-1. And that's it to right. But pretty much right at Larry Walker for out number 1. Kenterbeck is next. 2-0. That's it to center. And all the way to the fence is Valdez, and he catches it for out number 2. Ruben Rivera is next. 1-0. Flies it to center. All the way to the fence again. And he caught it. So that's 2 catches right at the fence for Valdez, and that is out number 3. So a 9-4 game. Eric Wedge is the batter, bottom of the 6th. No count. That's a base hit to center. Alright. I think maybe I'm going to pull Andy Hawkins. That's 10 hits, 4 runs. Oh, what to do, what to do. I think I'll... Man. I'll go with Tom Gordon, I think. We'll see what happens. Alright, Jose Vizcaino is now the batter, runner on first, nobody out. Full count. Tom Gordon now on the mound. Struck out swinging. Jerome Walton is now the batter. Comes in as a pinch hitter. 0-2. Struck out swinging. Pedro Valdez now. Full count. And he walks. So a 2-out walk here. Runner on first and second. 2 outs. Angel Echevarria the batter. 2-2. Struck out swinging. Alright. Top of the 7th incoming. Kurt Young now on the mound for the Cubs. Charles Johnson is going to be the first one to face him. 3-0. And he walks. Jeff King is next. 3-1. And he walks. So 2 on, nobody out for Walt Wise. No count. Walt Wise bunts, and that is out number 1. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Mark Davis coming in for Tom Gordon. Right, Mark Davis comes in as a pinch hitter. There are 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out. Full count to Davis. Grounds it to second base. He's thrown out at first, but a run scores. It is now 10-4. And the other runner makes it to third base on the play. 2 outs. Runner on third for Delino the Shields. No count. Grounds it to short, and he's thrown out at first for out number 3. Sorry, stretching feels good sometimes. All right, bottom of the 7th here. I think I'm gonna go with Walt Terrell and give him the last 2 innings, or the last 3 innings, I mean, and maybe he gets a save out of it. And if the score gets close, I can always bring Belinda. So that's my plan. So that means that Terrell might get an at-bat. That's okay. I'm okay with that. So we'll go for the 3-inning save. All right, Larry Walker is going to be the batter. Bottom of the 7th, we have a 6-run lead. 1-0. Right, it's at weekly to right. John Kruk is there. That's out number 1. Ryan Sandberg is next. Full count. Grounds it to third. Throws it to first for out number 2. Al Morris is next. Full count to him. And he walks. 2-out walk for the Cubs. Now Pedro Castellano is next. 2-2. Flies it to center. Ruben Rivera goes after it. He's there. That's out number 3. Top of the 8th and coming with the Expos. Still up 6. Luis Polonia facing off against Kurt Young. 3-1. Grounds it to first, and that is out number 1. John Kruk is next. 0-1. Grounds it to first as well. And he's thrown out for out number 2. Not a whole lot going on over here. Ken Terbeck, 0-2. It's at the center. And that is out number 3. That was cut easily by Valdez. Right, bottom of the 8th, Eric Wedge leading off. We are still up 10-4. 0-2. Walt Terrell is still on the mound. And Wedge strikes out looking. Jose Vizcaino is next with 1 out, 1-0. Grounds it to short. The throw to first, and that's out number 2. Ron Gant is next, 0-2. And he struck out looking. Top of the 9th and coming, still a 6-run lead. Ruben Rivera. Juan Guzman is now on the mound for the Cubs. 1-1. Grounds it to first. And he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Charles Johnson is next. 1-2. Struck out swinging. 2 outs now for Jeff King. Jeff King is 3 for 3 today. Pretty good game at the plate for him. 2-2. And that's a 4 for 4 game. Base it to left for Jeff King. That's a single. So runner on first, 2 outs for Walt Wise. 2-2. Oh, Jeff King tried to steal. Maybe that was a hit and run. But anyway, that's the last out of the inning. Anyway, Pedro Valdez now the batter for the Cubs. Bottom of the 9th, we are still up 10-4. Walt Terrell going for the 3-inning save. 1-1. Flies it to left. Luis Polonia goes for it. And that's out number 1. Angel Echevarria is now the batter. 2-2. Struck out swinging. Larry Walker now with 2 outs. He's the last out for the Cubs. 0-2. Oh, struck out looking. That was a really good performance by Terrell in relief. Alright, so the Expos were pretty much in control of the game for the entirety of the game. A nice 10-4 win here in Chicago. Right, we're going to go ahead and finish today. Now, let's see what happens here. Ooh, I lost Ben Van Ryn to make room for Ken Hill. And then the Mariners and the Cubs made a trade. So Jerry Willard goes to the Cubs for Dan Held. Right, what do I want to do with Ken Hill? I think I want to put Ken Hill in my rotation. Ooh, as a starting pitcher, he drops to 2 stars. I don't think so. I guess I'm gonna keep Ken Hill in the pen. Andy Hawkins been doing alright as a starter, so I guess I'm gonna leave him there, even though he has 2 stars as well. I made it sound like it was a big deal. Any other trades or anything here? Let's see. No. Right, let's go ahead and save. Now we have a day off. I'm gonna go ahead and sim that, see what happens in the world of baseball. Are we going to get Larry Walker back? That would be awesome, but I'm not counting on it. However, we might get, I think we're getting close to be getting Kent Herbeck back, and that's almost like a trade. He's been out for so long. Right, let's see here. Alex Rodriguez went 5 for 5 for the Padres in a game against the Marlins. Curtis Pride was sent down. Then there's been a trade. Oh, Bip Roberts goes back to San Diego after a stint in Texas and Kansas City. So the Royals traded Bip Roberts back to the San Diego Padres for Kimura Barty. Okay. All right. So what do we have here? So over here we're good. I think I might have Kirby Puckett. He is back. Yes. However, he is tired, but he is back. That's what matters. All right. So Kirby Puckett will take his spot back in the lineup. Back in center field. That means that Ruben Rivera is back playing left field. Sorry. That also means that we are done with that here. All right. Oops. So Kirby Puckett is going to be back for our next series. That's going to be a 4-game series against the Rockies. And then the trade deadline is right around the corner. Are we going to make another trade? I don't know. I do not know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save that. What I do know is that I am done here for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. Now, if you're catching this on YouTube later, you liked the video and you made it this far, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you folks next time. Thank you.